When you call Early Autism Project, you are assigned a board-certified behavior analyst who would be in charge of your child's program. And mine happened to be Ann Eldridge. She arrived at our house one day, and we had a great meeting, and she laid out how everything was going to work. My other two children were able to really maintain their normal routines, but they were also exposed to Winston and his world, and they were learning his language because they could hear all the therapy going on in our home. So Winston learned sign language. So the doctor who said that he was incapable of learning, he was mistaken, because within 2 weeks, Winston had mastered 20 signs. So he did know how to communicate. He was able to learn. But the beauty of that was that my other children were also learning those signs. And so when Early Autism Project left my house at 6:30 at night, we could pick up where they left off.
When Winston was diagnosed, I was in my third year of residency, so I was super busy. But I was there for the initiation of the program, and I'll never ever forget. I mean, the word swing for me is a sacred word, because it was the first word that Winston signed, swing.
I never said this is hopeless, ever. And I still don't feel that it's hopeless. There's always hope. Always. I've said, this may be as good as it gets. Is this as good as it gets? Because if this is as good as it gets, okay, then we're good. We'll deal with that. But I've never said this is hopeless. They came in and they not only embraced Winston, but they embraced my other children, and they embraced my husband and me, and they taught us what we needed to know to help Winston be the best boy that he can be.
I love to play basketball and go on a run. Being on a cross-country team is really hard work. I like to run around the neighborhood a lot, every day. At school, I worked really hard on history, math, ELA, and science. I got an 85 on science retest.
He walked in the door and he was able to have a conversation. That was never supposed to happen. That's what we were told at diagnosis. He's 14 years old, he's living at home, he has friends, he plays on teams. He's a relatively normal kid. That was not supposed to happen. So, Early Autism Project, by coming in and starting early and having the dream, knowing what was possible when we had no idea what was possible, enabled Winston to start down this path where he's made successive leaps, progression in his behavior and his speech and his ability to learn. So they plotted the path and defined the strategy and then executed.
Early Autism Project, they helped me make my family whole again. I mean, they gave me my child back.